All right, welcome to episode 48 of Real Talk with a Vulnerable Angel and friends. I am your host, the Vulnerable Angel, Dominica May, and tonight's episode is called "The Masks the Masks We Wear," special Halloween theme-esque episode since it is Halloween here in the United States tonight. And I am joined by one of my regular guests, Sharad. Welcome, Sharad.
Hello.
Nas bosses. If this is your first time tuning in, what we do is we just have, deep and vulnerable conversations, generally about a specific topic, answering some questions. Usually they've been supplied by ChatGPT, as they are tonight, and I'm usually the one that picks the themes for each episode. Yeah, we've been going for 48 episodes, Jared.
That's amazing. That's
We're
mind blowing.
we're 2 episodes away from a whole year of doing this.
That's dope.
So yeah, because we only skipped 2 weeks, which is amazing. All right. I'm feeling like extra vulnerable today. I was actually crying earlier while I was writing a Facebook post.
Oh, no.
So I'm expecting my answers to maybe be even more vulnerable than usual. I don't know. I can't guarantee that I won't cry on camera. This is basically what I'm saying.
No worries. You're in a safe space.
That's what this show is all about being vulnerable on camera, even if it means getting super emotional about some stuff. But we'll see. Like, I don't know if the questions. I don't think I even properly read the questions before I've copied and pasted any of this time. Apart from asking ChatGPT to write one more specific question that was not covered. Anyway, we'll see what the questions bring out of me, and also you. All right. So our first question is. In what situations do you feel like you have to put on a mask to be accepted or understood? I guess, should I? You know what masking is, right? Or wearing a mask.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it putting on a persona or
yes. Showing a version of yourself rather than your full authentic self.
Right.
For if anyone in the audience is not familiar with this term of wearing a mask or masking in social situations without physically wearing a mask, it's a metaphorical kind of thing.
Mhm.
All right. So yeah, in what situations do you feel you have to put on a mask to be accepted or understood?
Okay, this one might be tricky because I don't think I've had to do this in a while.
We can
Not.
talk about past situations if it's not present, right?
Yeah, sure. Okay. Um, well, this one might be a bit apropos then, at least to you and I. I think maybe
Okay.
the last time I had to put on a mask. Okay, so for those who might not know, Dominica and I actually met through the comedy scene here in Malaysia, where I currently am, and fantastic people. I cannot say a bad word about any of them. Like they're very very good people. But I think maybe the only time I've had to I can remember putting on a mask is whenever we had to socialize. Whenever we did socialize afterwards. It was very much we had to keep our comedian faces on all the time, and I mean, don't get me wrong, I had a fantastic time, but it's just like we were always on. And I felt like I was like, I don't know you the person, I know you the comedian. If
Yeah.
that makes sense. Yeah.
I've definitely had those experiences in comedy like social gatherings, not just in Malaysia, but in like here in the improv scene and stuff as well. Like when I've gone to improv festivals, improvisers that I'm just meeting, they're always, you know, having to be on or like throwing out bits and you know, making jokes here and there. So it can be absolutely harder to get to know people when you're meeting in that kind of context.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tricky because I always feel like, I mean, like, that we're always trying to. Well, I mean, not we. I'm not really a comedian anymore, but like, people always trying to out funny each other, and I was like, that's fine, but we're not on stage now. It's just us, so it doesn't have
Yeah.
to be a bit.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's one of the reasons that we kept in touch as like actual friends rather than being the on kind of stuff
Yeah.
as it is. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, for me in those settings, I I don't know that I necessarily put on a mask. It was more I was quiet in those situations. So I don't know if that's masking so much as maybe it is. Maybe it's a different kind of mask though, like not being on, but just being like observant and more neutral. I don't know. I feel like that some of that is who I am, and some of it is me not knowing how to handle like large group situation.
Fair enough.
So yeah, I don't know that feels like a different kind of mask, I guess. In terms of, and that's not for to try and be accepted or understood. That's me being invisible.
Mhm.
That's me being invisible rather than accepted or understood. Oh my goodness. So in situations where I've had to put on a mask to be accepted or understood, I think that like particularly in high school when I felt like I had to pretend to be into whatever the popular thing was with the school community at the time.
Mhm.
So I wasn't speaking up about what I was actually interested in because I wanted to fit in. Um, I've definitely, I mean, there have definitely been social situations as well. I've had to hide um, my more emotional side of myself, um, especially when I've been depressed. Like, that's something I've put a mask on to hide. Uh, Ooh, okay. I guess a big one, a good example would be when I was going out to the San Francisco Improv Festival back in 2019. It was in the early stages of the end of my marriage, as in I'd already filed legal documents against my ex-husband at the time. Um, and I was not ready to tell people about what I was going through, or the majority of people. And so, um, I had to pretend that things were fine, right? That I wasn't going through like this inner turmoil with a huge emotional impact in my life, with having to deal with court and legal proceedings and all of that kind of thing. And one of the most challenging parts for me, being at the festival during that time, was, the standard neurotypical person will come up to you and say, "Hey, how are things going?" Like, that's the common greeting, right? And I, being autistic, don't like to um, answer that question in the typical kind of like, "Oh yeah, things are fine." Like, like I want to be honest, and so I was holding all of this stuff in, and I just got to the point where I'm just like, guys, if you see me out at the festival, and I posted this on Facebook at the time, if you see me out at the festival, please, whatever you do, don't ask me how I'm doing. I don't want to talk about it. Just like talk to me about random stuff, but don't ask me how I'm doing. So yeah, that was really challenging for me. But yeah, I needed that distraction also from like I needed to escape all of the crap that I was dealing with at the time. Um, so hard to deal with what my ex-husband was like, for sure. So that's my big one. Situations where I'm going through a lot of emotional turmoil that most people are just not interested in hearing about.
Mm. But do you feel better now?
From there,
Hmm.
well, I was dealing with more crap from my ex-husband earlier this week, so that was the reason, or part of the reason why I was crying earlier. He thinks that I caused him trauma and it completely like uh refuses to take any kind of accountability for any or any responsibility for the stuff that he did to me, right? And he's only able to see himself as a victim. Um and it it's still an ongoing challenge. I'm doing my best to limit my interactions with him entirely, but there are just some stuff this week that I was required to interact with him for. So
Hmm.
I hate having to continue to deal with that stuff. And he keeps telling me that I cannot wait to like not communicate with you again. Like, stop fucking communicating with me now. You don't have to say all of this stuff to me. It's not even in our agreement to discuss this stuff that you're sharing with me.
Hmm.
um so yeah, I think also like I'm probably masking in my communications to him as well, because there's this thing known as gray rocking. I don't know if you're familiar with this term. If anyone watching is unfamiliar with the term, what it basically means is you're just like no emotion whatsoever. You're just like saying the like your communication is informative only. No emotions behind things. You just get in there with the information that needs to be shared and then get out. Like, that that's basically how it is. And uh yeah, otherwise, like, you leave room for them to create an argument, um or uh um sorry, I'm just distracted now with Shara disappearing like that. I'm sure he'll be back. um
Sorry.
Okay. No, it's fine. Uh, so yeah, if you don't go the gray rock method, then you can kind of just come in with or like you leave openings for them to create more arguments, or rile you up or whatever. So you just have to be as neutral and devoid of emotion as possible. And honestly, it's challenging sometimes to have to do that because it's not my natural way of being. So that's another mask that I wear.
Yeah, I hear you.
All right, we're ready for the next question, Sharon?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right. Ooh, here we go. How do you know when you're being your authentic self versus performing a version of yourself for others?
Hmm. I think that the best way to answer it is when it feels easy. And when I say easy, I don't mean that there's no effort on your part. I just mean that it comes naturally.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you enjoy spending time or speaking with that person, and um, yeah, like you're not counting down like, oh, I've been here for like 10 minutes. I think I'm done. No, like I mean, it's
Yeah.
all about yeah, just having a good time. And when you're being yourself, um, regardless of whether you are a louder person or an introverted person, you feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah, I was thinking if for when I'm feeling my or when I'm being my authentic self, I'm not thinking about how I'm coming across to the other person. Like, am I coming across like the kinds of questions that might be running through my head if I'm not being my authentic self is, does this person think I'm a dickhead? Am I like, am I being stupid? Are they judging me right now?
mhm.
How do I impress them? Those kinds of interior thoughts. Those are the ones that would come up when I'm more likely to be performing a version of myself
Sure.
versus my authentic self is more just like, you know what? This is who I am. And if you don't like it, if you don't accept me, then whatever, move on. Like,
Jog on.
yeah, yeah. Get out of my life if you don't
Yeah.
like this bullshit. Oh my
Yeah.
god. But also, like, that's what I just did is a good example. When I feel free to make silly voices in,
Sure.
in the middle of a conversation, oh man, that's me. I was like, oh yeah, I could do something silly like that.
There's nothing better. Yeah.
But I mean, that's not something that you can do necessarily in, for example, the workplace. Like, you just randomly throw out weird voices in a meeting. No, you
Can
got to
try.
perform a version of yourself in those settings. I think. I think I was fairly authentic in my previous workplace. Like, I didn't have a problem speaking up about things that bothered me.
Hmm.
Um, when I saw that there was like, oh, this is something that we should work on, baby, I would speak up about it. Or like, why are we doing this? Like, I would speak up. But I don't. I mean, I guess I don't necessarily want to do silly voices in the workplace either.
I
I
mean, you
don't know.
could if you
I
wanted
don't know.
to.
I probably could have if I wanted to, but we did play like online games sometimes,
Hmm.
like drawing games and things. So we did get to do some fun things in the workplace too, like as it like team bonding activities and stuff.
That's nice.
Yeah. So I don't know if so. I said for performing a version of myself. Definitely those interior thoughts. But probably also maybe that like invisibleness, like being invisible, is that mask would be another performing a version of myself.
Hmm.
Because I can't like if I'm with somebody who matters to me or just hanging out or whatever, then I'm very obviously like you can see right now, like I'm very vocal. I like talking about myself and that sort of thing. So yeah, I guess that's an example. If I am shying away from sharing things about
Hmm.
myself that I think people might judge me on, that's performing a version of myself. If I'm more open with sharing my experiences, that's me being more of my authentic self. If I'm not worried about how I'm going to be judged.
That's cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right. You ready for our next question?
Next
Although,
question.
if anyone is watching and would like to also contribute with questions or comments, you are more than welcome to do so.
Please
And
do.
if you are watching after the fact, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below. And if you have any questions you want us to bring up in a future stream, feel free to do that too. All right. Our next question here is: have you ever worn a mask for so long that it started to feel like your real personality?
Ooh. Um. Hmm. Ooh. Uh. Ooh. That's a very tough one. I don't think so, but I do think that. Okay, so for our viewers who might not know, I underwent a very, very debilitating illness a few years ago that still affects me to this day. And I think when you have to put on a mask where people see you for that illness instead of who you are as
Mm,
a person, like, it's tough because you have to, I want to break the mold and show, oh, I'm still me. But so I have to be that version of me that has all this energy and is always outgoing. And unfortunately, I'm not that same guy anymore. But to beat the stigma that, so and so is damaged, I have to try. And it's exhausting, to be honest with you. But yeah, so it's like wearing a mask of who I used to be.
fair. No, that's a good answer.
Yeah.
I feel like for me, maybe the mask that and it wasn't like a complete like this is not me at all, but when I got into improv here in California and I think I started out getting into improv by wearing a mask, by forcing myself to, like, I wanted to do improv so much that I just kept telling myself, like, just go for it, just do it. Who cares
Mhm.
what anyone thinks? And,
Yeah.
and just do it. I think that was me wearing a mask though, because I was fucking terrified.
Sure. Yeah. Of
But
course
that
you.
kind of became my personality. Like I was very much more outgoing in that setting than I had ever been prior to that in my entire life. Um, and just more open to like conversations with random people. They would just come up and talk to me or tell me like, they liked something that I did in a scene or a class or a show or whatever.
Mhm.
And um I was also like masking whatever challenges I was going through in my marriage at the time, like on and off. Um, but I think I ran with it for so long that I believed that that was genuinely who I was. Like finally, I'm a fun personality. People like me, and I'm accepted. It's not yeah, there was definitely some masking with that. Um, I don't think it was entirely a mask because there was definitely like authenticity that was coming out of there as well. Uh, but I think part of it was also because I was in such a new place that nobody knew me yet, that I could reinvent myself,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so there was that side of things because once I learned I was autistic a few years later in 2017, um, more actual parts of my authentic self started coming out that other people might have been less comfortable with.
Mhm.
And that's, I guess, what tells me that some of it was a mask rather than my whole personality. Um, and but yeah, for a couple of years at least, it was like I'm this go-getter. I'm just doing all of this stuff. I'm submitting to festivals. I'm creating all of this amazing art. I'm collaborating with awesome people. Um, and genuinely, it felt like, yeah, this is who I am now.
That's awesome.
But it wasn't completely who I was.
Mm.
And yeah, I mean, you can reinvent yourself. There's
Yeah.
nothing
Of
wrong
course
with
you can.
that. Is there's definitely possibilities of that, but I don't think that means that you have to lose parts of yourself at the same time.
Mhm.
And um yeah. I was at least able to be emotional in my scenes and in my monologues and in my like group setting stuff with my main improv troupe that I was with at the time called Yum. Like when we had our rehearsals every week, um, the beginning of our rehearsal started with a check-in of how we were doing emotionally,
Oh
since
wow.
the last week, and so we got like really detailed with the challenges and the highs and stuff, we had this thing going. We'd have to share a rose and a thorn. So rose was a positive thing that we experienced, and thorn was something that we didn't really like experiencing or whatever. And that kind of bled into the format that we ended up performing. Like our monologues had to have that same element of rose emotion or thorn emotion. And
Interesting.
like our first like the request that we got from the audience at the beginning of every show was, do you want a rose or a thorn for the monologue? So like that's how it went. Yeah. So man, and yeah, so I think right now in my life is where I'm really trying to unmask more than ever before, and my now personality feels more like my real personality.
Awesome. That's good. That's always good.
Yeah. All right, my dad is
Oh,
in
great.
the chat. He says, I figured that's probably who was the viewer watching. So my dad says, I suspect that when young and not knowing me, that wearing masks starts as discovery and play. We've talked in the past about play being a way to learn.
That's very interesting. I like that.
That's a big part of why improv is so good as well, because improv is just play.
Mm.
Basically, that's what we're doing. All right, my dad has another comment here. He says, putting on other selves allows experience to enter, and some trial and error gives feedback. Yeah, I mean, we don't. I mean, that is. My dad makes a good point. Like, we don't always know our true selves growing up anyway. It can take a long time for us to grow into what our true selves are. And some of that is the trial and error of, like, if if we are feeling judged by people and we recognize they might have a point, that I
Mhm.
shouldn't be behaving that way. Like, maybe I shouldn't be a nasty dick to this person,
Maybe.
for
Just maybe.
example. That can alter who you are. There are some positives to shaming sometimes, I think. If you're realizing, like, maybe I was being a bit mean right there.
Yeah.
Is that who I want to be or not? So there is definitely room for shaping who you are.
Well, that's the thing. Like recognizing that you were in this situation. Let's say recognizing you're a dick and then acting on it are two completely different things.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe you're just like, you know what? I don't care. I want to be a dick.
You just
that
get
is my true.
embarrassed and you
That
just
is
like,
my
"Ugh."
true self.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. All right. Next
Next
question.
question.
We go we go through them faster when it's just the two of us.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. For those who experience it, I asked specifically for a question like this from ChatGPT. For those who experience it, how does autistic masking or any form of social masking affect your sense of self and energy levels?
Well, I think it's obvious. It's exhausting.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
You know?
It is.
Um,
You need to like sleep for a long time
yeah.
afterwards.
Yeah.
I was super social last week. Like, I had 4 days in a row that I hung out with people in person, um, and also did 2 live streams within the same time frame, right? So Thursday, I met up with a friend in San Francisco, and then we did the live stream in the evening for discussing some horror movies with you and Mike. Then Friday, I didn't plan on doing anything necessarily, but then I was invited to a friend's place, so I hung out with him, got dinner with him. Saturday was Oh yeah, a friend was visiting from out of town for a festival. So he reached out to me, wanted to get together. So I hung out with him, and then we had the live stream in the evening. And then Sunday, I was hired to video a show at the West. That's the Bay Area Musical Improv Festival, and then a bunch of other improvisers that I knew were visiting from out of town, and they were there as well. And so I hung out with them afterwards. So it's like a lot of like a way more socializing than what I have been used to for the last several years. Like I used to be like that all the time when I was regularly doing improv. Like I was doing improv at least that many nights a week back in the day, like pre-pandemic. But now that is not typical for me. So yeah, I was definitely exhausted afterwards. I'm very grateful to have those experiences. But I think there were times where I was just quieter than I might have been otherwise because I was kind of conserving my energy and just waited for people to ask me questions. I appreciated that at the bar that we went to on the Sunday night that we got dinner at. One of the improvisers who came and sat next to me was just commenting on what was on the TV. Like there were horror, like very old horror movies on the TV. And he just kept commenting on the movie to me. And I'm like, oh, that's such it's more relieving. And like his wife was like, you said that you weren't going to be coming and like you were going to avoid the TV stuff and have actual proper conversations. I'm like I am fine with this. Like movie stuff is my jam. Like this is fine for me.
That's awesome.
So yeah, that can be kind of freeing sometimes. The movie in question, well, like there were two movies. That one was ending, and then there was another one. The one that we saw the beginning of was called Tarantula, and it was from 1950. I can't remember the date, 50 something. So it was interesting to kind of be able to comment on such old films like that because you know what a movie buff I am.
That's awesome.
But yeah, autistic masking can come in the form of just it's bit like dulling my emotions, especially. And if my emotions are dulled for too long, then I might experience burnout. I might just need to like lay in bed for a few days or not do much of anything. And I guess there are times where, how does it affect my sense of self? I think there are times where if I feel like I'm masking too much, that I end up wondering, does this person even like me for me? Yeah. Because it's so much easier to, or like I need more of that interaction with people who are fine with me being me. It's easier to not have to mask.
Does that mean that sometimes whenever you're with people, you're not yourself?
Oh yeah. Yeah. But like it's taken me a long time to kind of really process what is masking and what isn't. And coming out to the like sharing the real full extent of my experiences, right? Yeah, a lot of people get really overwhelmed if you're too emotional with them, I think, or if you share too much of yourself. Like
It can
with
be a lot.
with these live streams, I share a lot of very personal information about myself. It's not a big deal for me. I'm most of the time fine with sharing my real life, but other people can feel really uncomfortable when you're sharing really personal information. And I don't know, maybe that's one of the things that exhausts them
Yeah.
to listen to that sort of thing. Um, like if you think that's exhausting, imagine having to live it. Right? Yeah. Anyway,
Well, it's tricky because I mean, to play devil's advocate, I think it's because people they didn't sign up for that,
right.
and I've been both the recipient and the recipient. Is that the word? Yeah, like where I've like I'll be talking to a person just whatever in a very very relaxed setting, and they just drop a bomb on me, and I'm like, okay, all right, and you just like I don't know how to react. And other
Yeah.
times where I didn't realize I was being so much and so
Mm.
needy. It's only until someone tells me that I was like, "Oh my goodness, I am so sorry." So it's tricky. It's a very much a balancing act. I found.
So here's something interesting about that though is like what what one person sees as you being needy is not necessarily you being needy. It's just how that person interprets the situation based on their own experiences and their own comfort levels, right? um because if you're being needy, that means you have genuine needs. You have a genuine need for a connection. You have a genuine need to talk about this with someone. They may not be the right person, but that doesn't mean that you're, quote unquote needy, right? They're just not the right person for you to have to meet that particular need.
I mean, it's tricky because yes and no. I definitely see what you mean, but like just as a hypothetical,
Hmm.
um, what if let's say you have a friend or a relative rather who will send you messages on WhatsApp every day. It could just be links to something they found, a meme, whatever it is. And this could also be in a group,
Hmm.
and no one ever addresses it. And they just keep on sending them over and over and over and over every day, where you just like, I'm going to mute this because it's just like popping up, and your phone is just like going off every few hours, and it can be exhausting.
Oh yeah, for sure. I don't always open the messages that my dad sends me the moment he sends them. Like I'm pretty sure I have messages from him from a week ago, right, that I haven't opened yet. But that's one of the reasons he can communicate with me in the chat of these live streams.
Right. Like yeah, like just as an example, like well, I mean, I've got no problem saying this. Like, yeah, like I've got a family. We have a family chat on my mother's side, the family chat on WhatsApp, and there have been many times. I think maybe I can probably count them on one hand, where I've had to post like, guys, this is about family chats. Uh, I mean, don't get me wrong. If you want to post something funny, something informative, by all means, please do. But be appropriate to the family. If you find something funny you want to share, put it on your own social media, your
Yeah.
own whatever it is, because I remember one time I think I had to mute my family chat, and like when I got back to it later on that day when I was just going through my WhatsApp, there were like 23 links
Oh my
posted by I
god.
think three or four uncles I think in the group chat, and I was just like, all right, at that point I just snapped. Like I wrote like this whole essay, and I was like, guys, like WTF, please, like don't.
No, no, I feel you. Like that is the reason that I avoid opening my dad's messages sometimes is because I know that he sent me a link, usually to
Yeah,
a video, usually a long video, I just don't have time for. And I've told him, "Hey, dad, I genuinely just don't have time to watch the videos that you send me."
yeah,
It's it can be okay if he just sends me a shorter reel and I will watch those most of the time, but other times I'm just like this is too much information for me to process. I'm just going to put it to the side and
right,
otherwise ignore it because it's like
right.
too much.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it can be exhausting because it depending on the person that does it, whether they are someone older, someone younger, someone who's in a different financial point in their life, people will tend to will feel obligated to read it, to watch it. You
Yeah.
don't hurt the person's feelings or whatever. And after a while, it's just like I just like you almost have that pit in your stomach where your phone just starts vibrating, and you're like, ugh, like just going back to the family chat as well. It's gotten so bad now where I've just had to mute the chat. I
Mm.
mute the chat, and like I've put a note there and things like, all right, guys, if you want me to read something, tag me. Otherwise,
I've actually gone in the opposite direction sometimes, and this is not something I think I've shared with anyone ever, maybe. Um, but I've definitely thought about it. There are times that like I have wondered, like, I feel like a lot of other people receive those kinds of things way more than I do. And I just don't have that many people that reach out and send me things and, want to get in touch and stuff. And so that for me is the flip side of like, do people just not care about me?
no, no, it's not.
So,
Well, I mean, like
yeah.
that's the thing. It's like, well, yeah, like why didn't that person hit me with that car? I was right there in the road, and they missed me. Bastard. Like, it's very very tricky. So I mean, put it this way: just in this instance, just be grateful that you missed the bombardment because yeah, it's unpleasant.
Yeah, I don't mind missing those kinds of messages, but it would still be nice to have a few more people, reach out and ask me how I'm doing from time to time because that doesn't, anytime that someone does reach out, unless there's someone who does it too much, uh like I did actually have to ask someone to, I was like, I
Chill the
don't
fuck out.
have the energy to chat on text all the time. If you want to chat, like, let's organize a time to get together instead. um but other times it's just like, I just yeah, like I appreciate when other people, on the rare occasions that reach out and check in to see how I'm doing. It's nice. It's a reminder that people do care, even if they don't reach out that often.
Yeah,
Um, and sometimes it's like little things as well. Like, um, I have a friend that I regularly video chat with when he's heading home from work. And so when I thought that we were going to be doing this episode last night, he was aware that I wasn't going to be able to talk to him. And then so then we switched to Danae, and so I messaged him just so that he would know, hey, I'm actually available to talk. He let me know that he didn't have his car, and so he still wasn't going to be able to talk. I was like, so there's like that disappointment that uh
your routine was
that
just put off. Yeah,
yeah, that he wasn't able to talk to me for an extra day this week as a result of this. And so like I like receiving those kinds of like, oh man, I'm gonna
Mm.
miss not being able to talk to you, even though like our calls are like 10 minutes long, they're not like super long. So
Well,
it's not
quality over
it's
quantity for
just
sure.
yeah, anyway.
Mm.
So yeah. So that's that. There are some people that I appreciate getting those kinds of comments with, because it tells me, oh, I matter. Like, it makes a difference to this person's day that I am available and, able to talk to him, as opposed to going out and doing something else or live streaming or whatever. So I don't feel like there are that many people who like consistent communication with me.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel you. I feel you. But I mean, at the end of the day, though, this is something I've had to learn the hard way. 9 times out of 10, it's not you. And again, I try to be in the other person's, try to be in the other person's shoes. Maybe they've just had a really bad day. Maybe they didn't sleep well. Maybe something pissed them off. And you just happen to be at the right place at the right time. You never know.
Yeah.
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 So you always be gentle with yourself.
I do my best.
Mm.
So yeah. All right, my dad has a few more comments for us here, so
Ooh,
I'll
we've got
bring them
Frank.
up. So he was responding to what I said before. I think he said, "Yes, it is about finding a comfortable fit." So that's when we're figuring ourselves out,
For sure.
what our true selves is. He says, "I've very just
Just been on
been
threads. Yeah.
on treads or threads and
Yeah.
noticed."
Yeah.
Okay. And notice how Halloween brings out so many different creative experiences to share what one wouldn't normally share. It is a safe time to explore. Yeah. In terms of being creative in costuming and stuff and being able to express themselves in a way that they wouldn't normally get to, because there are rare occasions that you get to dress up and in fun outfits, unless you're me and dress up as an angel every
There you
week.
go. Well, this thing, Halloween is that one 24-hour period where uh, it's not just encouraged but expected
Mm,
for people in society across the world. Like, yeah, if you want to put on something and go outside from the morning till the following morning, really the late hours, uh, people think it's cool. People think it's awesome, and it's something to be encouraged and celebrated. You put on social media when you go outside. Hey, can I take a picture? But could you imagine if that just happened some random time in, like, let's say the summer? You just like, who is that guy? Like, that's a bit sus,
I've done
right?
it.
So,
But I know not everyone feels comfortable doing that sort of thing. I've talked about when I dressed up as a pirate in random places for no particular special occasion, just going out in public like that. But yeah, it's not easy for everyone to dress weird when they want to kind of fit in with societal norms and things.
mhm,
So Halloween is the one day of the year that people feel more comfortable to dress in whatever fashion that they feel like dressing in, or at a Ren fair, or cosplay at conventions and things.
right. Well, this
But
thing, if it's not Halloween, people will. I mean, in my experience, tend to dress up if it's part of a group
mm,
kind of thing, where okay, it's a
yeah,
party, everyone dress up in blah blah blah. Then you have that collective.
yes,
But
that's
let's
right.
say if it's just your average day out and you go out looking like Jack Sparrow, people will be like, So
Uh, Oh man, this is reminding me of this is a weird stuff that TikTok's decided to show me. Uh, Recently, apparently, there was this woman who uh, didn't get the memo that she was supposed to wear a black dress to a wedding, and so she just wore this fun, like fairy kind of outfit,
oh no,
and and then like felt super embarrassed and like hiding away from everything at the
oh
wedding. But then she like was did a video while she was at the wedding and shared it online on TikTok. And then today, I what came up in my feed was the bride's response about how like people were just being mean to this guest and like all this. I was like, oh my god, what is what is happening?
oh
Why am I seeing this stuff on TikTok? I guess it's what was popular or whatever
yeah, sure.
of on TikTok. I don't even open TikTok that often, so
I don't
uh,
even have it,
I
so there you go.
I anyway, it was a surprise for me because I don't usually get that sort of thing. I usually get like political posts
Mm,
or comedy. All right, my dad is has more comments for us here. He says, career-wise, too many years spent trying to fit into employers' needs, yet always feeling inadequate. Now being diagnosed. Uh, Wait, Dad, you did get an autism diagnosis? I don't know if I knew that he had an official diagnosis. Now being diagnosed, I find hope that everyone has gifts and that the world is opening to differences in order to see how people fit here. It's complicated. That's the problem with some of the right left politics. You can't you can't regulate its personal relationships.
Hmm. Definitely.
People put so much stock in their identity and their association with their political party, right?
Mm.
Especially nowadays, it's become. I was watching somebody else on TikTok earlier who was, I think it was TikTok, it could have been Instagram, who was basically saying like, you need to not be treating these political parties as if they're your favorite sports ball team, because that's when you get your identity so tied into it. You need to be going back to thinking about what are their policies, what do they believe in, and being more open to, you know, speaking out when they do something that you don't agree with.
Yeah.
Because you can support someone and also disagree with them.
I mean, I think that's only healthy, to be
Mm-hmm.
fair.
Um, Not according to my ex-husband. I supported him, and also sometimes I disagreed with him, and he didn't like the me disagreeing with him part. So
Oh wow.
it's like that was me being disloyal. Oh, I'm allowed to have a different opinion. Okay. Anyway. Dad has another comment here for us. He says, on videos I send, I seldom expect them to watch. It is more me just trying to share something possibly useful. Most I've sent related to these blogs, partly meant for your collaborators as well. Yeah, he does actually sometimes tell me to share them with you and Mike,
That's
and
nice.
I occasionally do. I don't think I always do, but occasionally I do. I think one of them was a movie once, right?
I
Shared a
think so,
movie.
maybe.
All right, next question
Next
here.
question.
What fears do your masks protect you from? Rejection, vulnerability, judgment, and what might happen if you took them off?
See, this one's tricky. I think probably the first two. Well, actually, no, all three, maybe. I think because people tend to wear masks because we don't want to get hurt, we want to protect ourselves. So whenever, let's say, like it's the same thing over like I wear this mask because it's like a suit of armor,
Hmm.
right? And if you're taking it off, you're exposing the real you, the vulnerable you. So if something does happen, it's that there's no shield, there's no armor,
Yeah.
and it's painful.
Oh,
It is the
yeah.
way it is. Yeah.
Yeah. I think for me, definitely like all of those things as well, but in particular, the rejection and judgment. I have in the past been especially worried about people judging me and people rejecting me. Um, Less concerned about my vulnerability since I do try to share the vulnerability stuff,
Hmm.
but the judgment and rejection, and I'm thinking also, so something that kind of I'm reminded of here is I've been emailing with Daniel sometimes, and I was telling him about my Malaysian ex Lee having this poker face that he always wears, uh, so that you never know how he's feeling because he's just like blank stoic face all the time. But and I think part of it is like the fear of rejection and judgment and so on. Um, but one of the things that I liked actually about my relationship with him was like when I could break through that poker face and see like his actual expression of emotion on his face. Like that was the thing that told me that I mattered, that I made a difference because I could
Hmm.
see it on his face. And I think, and it's not exactly related to this question, but the point I'm trying to make is that when you are capable of letting go of that mask and letting people see how you're actually feeling, it's actually a gift for the other person to be able to see that.
How so?
Because you know, they're seeing this is your true self and you feel safe enough with me to share that with me.
Mhm.
Because that's what ultimately what it is. Like it you wear a mask to feel safe. And so if
Yeah,
you're taking off your mask around somebody, that means you feel safe with that person to
true.
unmask, right?
Very true.
And so yeah, like there was a time that I sent him a message. This was back when we were together. I sent him a message, you know, something a little bit sexy, like, "Oh, hey, if I send you like a sexy picture right now, how's your poker face going to go?"
Oh,
Because he was like with friends at the time. It's like, do you,
oh, nice.
will your friends like be able to tell that you're looking at something
Will he just
you
be
know
like, oh,
sexy? Yeah, or will you be able to maintain your poker face?
yeah,
And he was
that's
like
fun.
he was like, "Well, I do have a pretty good poker face, but I think when it comes to you, I wouldn't be able to keep it." And so like that to me is like, that's the ultimate compliment. Like
Yeah,
to me is like, I mattered that much that I can break through that armor and
nice.
have an impact on your face, that you can't even hide it from other people around you.
I mean, it's a very, very primal thing where, yeah, like there's so many times. This actually reminds me of. I found some YouTube compilations where you send your partner a spicy a photo in public and you film their reaction, and 9 times out of 10 they'll just be like, "Oh." So it's great. Like what was it? You'll see them at a bar or at a family gathering, and they're just like, and they're like, "Oh no, no," they're hiding it away and stuff, and so yeah, that's always good fun.
Yeah, I've definitely had reactions to be like, "Oh man, instant turn on." Okay.
Mhm.
That was yep.
Yep.
Yeah. It's I like having that kind of reaction, because that is pure honest truth right there. Like that's your you can't fake that, right? You can't fake the how you actually feel about it. Because you know, if you're receiving that kind of content from someone that you didn't like, you'd be like, ugh. Like you you would still have a reaction, right? You can't like,
Yeah.
who the fuck sends me a dick pic right now? I don't even
Yeah.
know this dude. Like, you know,
Yeah.
you're gonna have some kind of reaction because especially if it's the kind of content that you don't normally receive or you don't expect to receive, then it's like there's the God's honest truth. What? Yeah. I don't know. We kind of swayed away from the topic, the topic or the question here. Um, so what might I guess I could kind of was answering it. What might happen if you took it off? People get to see the real you,
Yep.
and it can be a gift.
It can be.
Yeah.
It can be.
So there you go. I answered the question without like fully understanding what I was
No, there you go. It's fine.
Good for me. I
Yeah.
still stayed on topic. All right. My dad has another comment for us here. I think he says, if someone connects to the theme and watches, then nice. If left unwatched, I'm not bothered. It's like my Facebook. I don't know who needs it. I figure God puts it into hearts who it's meant to.
Hmm.
Um,
Sure, that makes sense.
yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, there are times that my dad has shared stuff on his Facebook feed, and I think I am more inclined to watch those than I am the ones he sends me by direct message because, um, for one reason or another, sometimes they've just resonated with me at the time of like this is on brand or on topic of something that is um, on my mind right now, and so it felt relevant. And I think that seems to be a more socially acceptable way of sharing videos. But like you said earlier, Sharon, like
Mhm.
don't send it to the group chat. Just share it, like repost it on your own
Either put it
page.
on your wall or send it directly to the person that you want to see it. Because yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
please. Anybody
or
watching
just
this?
or just on your wall. Like,
or just on your
I
wall. That'll work
I've
too.
actually really appreciated the fact that Instagram has now introduced reposting
Hmm.
stuff,
Yeah.
because like in the past people would just like post it to their stories. I'm like, I don't care about seeing this stuff in your stories. Like, I want to see this stuff that you're doing in your stories. If you want to
Right.
share somebody else's post, do a repost like that. And I'm really glad that that is something that happens now. So it might
Good. Yeah.
show up in my feed, and I can see who reposted it. And I'm glad that that happens. But I can also just scroll by if I'm not interested in whatever somebody has reposted. But yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of anyway
Yeah.
distracted right now.
All the memories are just flooding back. Like God.
um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I've definitely reposted a bunch of things. And what the other thing is, like, I like seeing, because you get notifications when somebody that
As
follows
much.
you
Yeah.
reposts the thing that you've also reposted, or they liked the thing that you reposted, and I'm like, yeah,
Right.
I did a good job by reposting that. Like, I will get like a good feeling about that.
Yeah. Of course.
Whereas
Get that validation. Yeah.
when it's in a story, like, you're sharing, I don't like sharing the stories anyway. But like the thing about stories, I know it's not exactly on topic, but the thing about stories is you can see everyone who has looked at the story, but if they don't react, then you're, for me at least, I'm just like, why was this person watching my stories? Like, especially with someone I like don't really communicate with, or I'm just
Mhm.
like, um did they just skip over what I shared? Do they not care about, like, why are they even looking at my stories if they're not reacting?
Sure.
Like, which is so weird, right? Because obviously you can't see who is looking at your posts on Instagram or social
Thank
media
goodness.
unless they comment. And that's the reason that I don't share it to stories very often, is because I think most of the time I'd rather not know who is looking at stuff unless they decide to say something about it or
Right.
react to it.
I think most people wouldn't.
But it's sharing to stories. I do look at the list of people who have looked at the thing, and I was like,
Yeah.
I need to not care about this.
Well, that's the thing, because I found that if when you start to care, that in itself is like an energy draining vampire thing. It's not good for you. Just social media. Social media is meant to connect us
Yeah.
and link us together, which I think is definitely a force for good, but it
Mhm.
can be a pain.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Next question
Next
here is,
question.
I'm sorry, I have a cough right now. I don't know what that's about.
Oh dear.
Are there times when wearing a mask has actually protected or empowered you rather than concealed you? Yes. Throughout a good chunk of my marriage, wearing a mask protected me.
Mm.
And probably also, like, in the end of my marriage, I was wearing a mask to protect and empower me to go follow through with the divorce. Um, and I mean, yeah, there was concealing too, but I needed to conceal from my ex-husband because otherwise I would be sharing stuff that he could hold against me or he would use against me.
Hmm.
Um, and just like now, like the thing that he uh, was, so we have a very limited number of things that we are I guess have agreed that we can communicate about. And he decided to flag some things that was not one of those agreed upon topics this week, and that was things that I've blogged about. So he's kind of revealing that he has been obsessively reading my posts on my blog. Um, and I don't know how many of them are, but some of the ones that he has, and was like, really? You read a 26,000 word blog post and you think that I'm a stalker? Like
Good for you.
I, I don't like, I don't check in on what my ex-husband does anywhere on social media. Like I don't give a shit. Like if he could be writing bullshit about me as well and I wouldn't know, right? I don't care. I'm not interested to know what he has to say about me. But the fact that he is revealing that he is reading at least all of the posts that I have said anything about him in, and then he like tells me that I have red flags because I'm sharing this stuff or my experiences. I'm like, dude, you're the red flag for not even taking accountability for all of the stuff that I've written about you doing. Like, come on. But so that's what I'm saying. Like the fact that I have the freedom to share this stuff now on my blog, part of it is because he's not supposed to talk to me about that stuff because I don't want to talk to him about that stuff. If I wanted to talk to him about that stuff, I would have dealt with it in our marriage. And I, there were times that I tried to, but he took no accountability. So, I had to keep that stuff to myself. But now that we're separated, like we're divorced and have limited communication, I don't have to protect myself in that relationship anymore. And I have the freedom to express myself and express my experiences. And he doesn't have the right to take that away from me. I don't care if he sees me as being negative about him. If he didn't want me to be negative about him, he shouldn't have behaved in those ways towards me, right? But he has his own opinions about that sort of thing. With if you're not so it's disrespectful or whatever. I'm like, maybe you shouldn't have disrespected me if you didn't want me to say these kinds of things about you.
Yeah.
So anyway, so that's what I was saying. Like masking all of the stuff that I couldn't share with him was very much about protecting me and empowering me, rather than concealing me, because it's like, that's how I had to survive. That's what I had to do in order to survive, in order to move forward with my life and focus on the things that that I could do that actually made a difference to make my life happier. Because doing that stuff around my ex-husband was not one of those things. Like even when I couldn't even express happiness about anything that didn't have something to do with him around him, because he would get jealous.
Really?
Yeah.
That's exhausting.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. So it was like I couldn't share how happy and excited I was about getting into a festival or whatever. Like I could only share the practical kind of things, like I got accepted into this festival. I need you to look after the kids so I can travel. Blah blah blah. But I was like, oh my god, this is so freaking amazing that I get to go and hang out with all these people. Like he didn't want to hear that kind of thing. So it really says something. I need to have a partner who is excited to hear about things I'm excited about, because he did not.
Well, so
Anyway,
that's the thing. Even if, let's say, you have a partner or a friend or whomever, they don't have to be a reflection of you. By all means, opposites attract. But there is that, if there is no excitement about something that you find excitement in, or something that you're passionate about, that's just not going to work. It's just not viable.
Oh, no, absolutely. You don't have to be passionate about the same things, as long as you are still interested to hear about the things that your partner is passionate about.
Right. It's
Even
like
if
you
you're
don't
not
have to be
into it
passionate
yet.
about the things. You just have to be passionate about them.
Yes, that's right. So like my friend that I mentioned that I video with, a good portion of the week as he's going home, like driving home from work, he I share all kinds of things that I talk about the media stuff that I'm interested in, the movies that I'm watching, and even if he hasn't seen them and has no interest in seeing the things that I have just been focusing on, he still loves hearing about the stuff that I have been watching, because he just likes to hear my enthusiasm, right? Like, oh man, this is and That's a huge difference for me. So at least someone cares about all the inane stuff that I want to talk about.
Yeah, that's nice. That's good.
Yeah. What about you for this question?
I don't know. I think the most obvious thing that comes to mind is again being unapologetic. You know, I don't know about how, let's say, for example, uh, how let's say how mindful drivers are near you. But for
Mm.
me, here in Malaysia, oh boy, it's like the Wild West. And
Oh yeah.
yeah, oh yeah. And one thing that really, really kind of grinds my gears, as that old saying goes, is people who park in handicap spots that are not handicapped and whatever.
Hmm.
And um, I find like putting this mask on of righteous indignation will like come over me. And normally I'm a very passive person, you know,
Oh
like
yeah.
very few things bother me. But it when it comes to things where not just because I think now because I'm a part of that community, I'm a lot more aware. But
Hmm.
even let's say before I fell ill, I wouldn't even go close to a handicap spot because it's not for me. It's the equivalent
Yeah.
of me parking in a women's only parking lot. That doesn't apply to me.
Which,
But
let's be clear for the audience, exists in Malaysia. They do
yes,
exist in
they
Malaysia,
do exist in Malaysia.
like parent
Perfect.
parking and stuff as well. Uh, there's no parent parking in the United States. There is in Australia, um, but yeah, handicap parking is the only like special parking that you get, or government official vehicles,
Yeah,
like special parking in the United States. Yeah.
right. Yeah, and so like whenever I see that, I put on this persona of how dare they? Not because maybe they're taking a spot away from me, but I'll be walking, just walking, and I'll see it, and I'll just like the little. There's a. Have you seen Me, Myself, and Irene, the Jim Carrey film?
Hmm.
Yeah, like every time, let's say Jim's about to switch personalities, he'll start twitching. His eye will be like, "Mm," and that part will come in me as well, and I'll just have to. But you have to have fun with it, right? So, like I'll put on this mask of righteous indignation, and I won't do stuff like I won't take a photo and upload to social media, no, but I'll write a very, very, very uh, passive aggressive note, and I'll just leave it
Put it
on
on their
yeah,
windshield.
and I'll be like, oh, like yeah, um, like oh, like I hope that you. Uh, I hope that you sleep tonight with 1,000 fleas infesting your pits, or like like or
I hope I hope birds keep shitting on
yeah,
your
yeah,
windscreen.
like I hope you sleep badly tonight, like things like that. Like
Mhm, mhm.
so, yeah. I mean,
So when you do this, you're like, look, I'm assuming you're looking at the car to make sure that they don't have the
yeah,
disabled
I'll
placard
peek inside, make
because
sure there's no sticker or card. Because like
yeah,
let's say for
because
example, like if for me, if I am in a different person's car, I'll be like, look, there's a handicap spot park in there. They're like, oh, but I don't have a sticker. I'm like, that's fine. I'll leave my card on your dashboard so people can see it. I mean, that's fine.
yeah,
So I won't just go like, oh, you bastard, and just go running in straight away. I'll
yeah, yeah.
analyze the
What
situation, and I think there's,
I figured that that's how you were because I know that you've been victim of people accusing you of not being allowed to park in the handicap spot, despite the fact that you do have a handicap, because people see you and see you're not in a wheelchair and they
yeah,
think you're not disabled.
and yeah, and like to the external eye, I walk fine, I seem
Yeah,
fine, and doesn't mean I am, and like but like for example, this happens a few times, which I'm very grateful for. Actually, sometimes I'll be at a shopping mall, I'll park in a handicap spot, and the security guard will come up, and say, I'm really sorry. Have you got a handicap card? I'm like, you're totally fine. I'll show to them. They go, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm like, no, keep doing what you're doing.
yeah.
So yeah.
That's good that that happens.
Hmm.
Just to double check.
Yeah.
So glad that you're appreciative of what they're doing as well to ensure that the right people
Yeah,
are
I
parking
mean,
in those
it's
zones.
such it's like why? I mean, like you have to be like an extra level of douchey to just because you're willingly parking there. You know where you know what you're doing, and like
Yeah.
yeah, it's just it's just being a dick for no apparent reason.
Just like the men who stand in the women's only trains, like, what the are you doing in here?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, the
um,
only time I can think of that I did something similar to what you're saying is I remember when I was a child, my mother took me into the women's bathroom just so to keep an eye on me. And I
mhm.
was really young, and I remember like this mother and daughter walked in, and the daughter went, "What are you doing in here?" I'm like, I'm sorry, my mummy brought me in here." And then the mum was just like, "Yeah, it's fine, don't worry," because I was by the sinks and everything. I was
Yeah.
really young, and
Honestly, what else are you supposed to do in that situation? Leave your kid outside
yeah,
of the bathroom to wander off?
yeah,
Like,
exactly. But I mean, I can understand because it was another kid asking me that, so I
yeah,
can
yeah,
understand that.
yeah. Oh, wow. No, that was a great answer. I liked
Yeah.
that.
Mhm.
All right, my dad has at least one more comment here for us. See what it says. He says professional actors employ masks. Their processes vary and in some cases lose themselves. Um, it's called the method
Yep.
acting where you get into
The
character.
method. Yeah.
One common one is the number of actors falling in love with co-stars. Any movie stories, uh, any movie stories you may know, and why you think it is so.
I mean, yeah. I mean, in any kind of creative endeavor, you're going to get close to your crew, right? So I mean, I think that's only normal, and because in things like that where creatives you have to put on a persona, you're willing to be vulnerable with each other, and that's totally understandable.
Actors falling in love with their co-stars in romantic comedies or whatever because they have to play those roles while they're acting, and so they end up believing what they're acting into it, but they're not net but it's not but it's like their characters rather than their true selves.
Hmm.
But I do think that in order to have that kind of intimacy and for it to look like genuine in a movie, maybe they have been like sharing their own vulnerable selves with each other behind the scenes so it can look more real on the screen. So maybe it is like actually genuine that they fall in love because just because they're required to share certain things for the role doesn't mean that they shouldn't fall in love or whatever. I don't know.
I hear you.
um, if you're sharing vulnerable experiences in situations. All right. I think this might be our last question.
Ooh.
What mask have you outgrown and what helped you finally take it off?
I don't know why, but this immediately speaks to me. Okay, for those who might not know, but I'm sure that those who are watching, I might be described as a man who is follically challenged. I don't know whether you know. That's the way I describe it. Follically challenged.
Fair. No, no, that's a
Yeah,
great
yeah,
description.
and like I remember, I used to get so angry, like in my late 20s, early 30s, because like, I'm 38 now, and I
Mhm.
didn't start balding until really my 30s, I want to say. And yeah, like I'd get really paranoid. I'm like, and every time, let's say I would go to the barber. I'm like, can you figure out a way to put this over? And like, whenever I style my hair, I do it to cover everything. And like, it became like, like, what am I doing? And like, like it goes on to the idea of, was it Samson? Like his hair was his strength. And but then I was like, oh, if I shave, I've got a very round head. And I was like, oh, if I shaved, I'm gonna look like the bulletproof monk. I'm like, yeah, I know, but at some point, like you learn to embrace it. Like I remember uh, I had a family friend, like an aunt. She wasn't an aunt; she was a friend of my mom's, a childhood friend, and she made me burst out laughing. She's like, she's like, "Oh, there's nothing sexier than a bald man." I'm like, "Oh, how so?" And she's like, "Well, the way I think of it, it's like it's a solar panel. Like the sun comes down, it charges you and turns you into a sex machine." And I was like, "Okay, that's fine. All right, okay." And yeah, so it's just little things like that, and
So that's one of the things that helps you
yeah,
take it off. 'Cause you're
yeah,
like, well, this person sees it in a different light,
right.
so maybe I can start seeing it in a different
Yeah,
way.
and and just look. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I've been that guy where I've gone online and go, "What do they do in Turkey?" For all this kind of stuff, and it's just a lot. And I think it just goes down to the adage that we're taught as kids: you have to embrace who you are, for better or for the worse. If let's say you're like and the way I think of it is, I might be losing my hair, but my beard remains strong. So
Mhm.
it's one of those kind of things. So it's something that I've definitely outgrown now. Where yeah, I mean this is me. Hear me roar. You can see the shine reflecting off my skull like in the middle of the day, and it's fine. It doesn't
Yeah.
bother me. And like now, whenever someone says, "Oh, what's up, Baldy?" I'm like, "All right, small prick. Like how's it going?" I throw it back, and it's not an issue. So yeah, like if a girl,
That implies that you've seen their
yeah, I mean,
prick, right?
no, I mean, yeah, like, you give small prick
No, no,
energy. You give small
I
prick energy,
understand,
so
I
I'll do
understand.
that. Like for yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
throw it the same thing with the girl. I'm like, she's like, oh, you're losing your hair. I'm like, yeah, I've noticed that whenever you're walking, you're waddling. Sounds like you sound a bit loose down there too. And then she was like, oh, like, don't
Oh,
take it if you
wow.
can't. Don't dish it.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, and another thing is like I always say like you have to have fun with it, right? Like, oh, what happened
Mhm.
to your hair? I'm like, guess the brain's just too powerful. It just you can't. And they're like, oh, I'm like, well, what do you want me to say?
Mhm,
Right.
mhm.
So yeah, I mean, it's you have to learn to embrace your faults and make it your own.
Yeah, this is making me think. I don't know if this is true or not, so don't quote me on this as like a
Everyone's gonna
scientific
quote you.
fact.
Everyone's gonna. She
But
said.
I remember I remember when I was much younger, like in my um either teens or early 20s, I heard that men who uh start balding earlier, it's a sign that they have higher
I have heard
testosterone.
that.
So, like I said, I don't know if it's scientific fact or if this is something that gets shared through the grapevine or whatever. Um, but like in my mind, like it's such a if you're one of those like macho manly masculine men who has to feel like they're the alpha and whatever, I can just imagine that like if you start going bold like in your early 20s, or it's like, oh, it just means it's because I'm in so much sex and I've got high
Sure,
testosterone because like
that's one way to
there
go
are
about
ways that you can
That's one way to
that
go
you
about it.
can
Yeah.
use it to your advantage, right?
Well, I mean, there you go. It's people will overcompensate. Sure. I mean, like, how
Mhm.
many times have you heard the story of, like small man syndrome? The guy who's like the smallest guy will have the biggest bark on him. So yeah, I mean,
Mm.
that's completely normal. But I mean, the thing about that is people will be able to can identify it and see it like from a mile away. So you're not fooling anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think we're at that stage now in society that, as long as you don't have a second head, like people don't care. Like yeah, if you walk with a limp, if you speak with a lisp, people don't care.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I think it's more genetics thing than I mean the impact of testosterone anyway. Like maybe you have a higher level of testosterone because of genetics, but like balding is a genetic thing. Because you can see like I've seen my ex-husband's receding hairline is matching his dad's. Like that's a genetic thing.
Yeah.
Um, and so to like people have this idea about, I know it's kind of off topic now, but people have this idea about the impact of testosterone on men, and I don't think it's necessarily true. I mean, there's the genetic aspect,
It
and
is.
yeah, that's
It
fine.
is.
But the idea that more testosterone makes you more manly is like, oh, whatever. Like, not necessarily.
I don't
Um,
think that's true at all because from what I
yeah.
understand, like people have like in our systems, we can only take so much of anything. Like for
Mhm.
example, just since we're on the subject, like I remember I was speaking to my doctor and I was saying, well, if I take a specific medicine, more medicine, would that make my condition better? And he broke it down. Was like, no, you'll just all of it will be wasted because your body can only take so much. So
Mm.
let's say if you double, triple, whatever your
Yeah.
recommended dose, you'll just go through you. It'll just be a waste.
Oh yeah,
There
yeah. I've
you go.
definitely heard that about like, people taking vitamin supplements and stuff
Yeah.
thinking, "Oh, I'm going to take this much." And it's like, no, it's like so much of it is lost. Like
Mhm.
it's just like you don't need actually
Yeah.
that much.
So it just goes to show that your body will take what it needs, and
Hmm.
then there you go. So, like, yeah. So, like, I've learned that, for example, if I'm losing my hair, if I feel like I'll grow a massive beard, and I'll just be like, I'll compensate with that, or I'll do a little twirly kind of mustache, and it's fine. Just have a bit of fun with it. But if it happens, it happens because there's nothing you can do to control it.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Hmm.
It's not your fault. It's not your
That's right.
fault.
That's right.
So I was gonna say, if you want to donate your hair to me,
Oh, right.
I won't say
Okay.
no. So
Well,
yeah,
potentially,
yeah,
I mean, it is quite long.
yeah.
Like I've said, like I can wrap it around my neck. Oh, it's a necklace now. I can wear it like a
There you go.
scarf.
I'll
It's a
just like
scarf.
shave you in like yeah while you're asleep and just put it on me like Hannibal Lecter putting someone's face on. I'll just
Oh, wow. Yeah. Um, that's a mask, Hannibal Lecter's.
there you go.
Anyway, I don't know. This is a I don't know what to answer for this one. Maybe um what mask have I outgrown?
Hmm.
The one where I keep my emotions to myself,
Hmm.
especially while like watching movies. Like I'm so much more emotional watching movies now compared to the past. Like, in the past I did cry in movies, like sometimes, like Toy Story 3. Oh my god, bawled my
Oh
eyes out in
god.
that film, right?
Uh,
Some movies like you have to, right? But nowadays, I am crying at every little thing. Like, like it doesn't need to be as epic as Toy Story 3 for me to bawl my eyes out. I would just like I get so like, oh, I feel so much empathy for these characters. Oh my god! Like, and then I'll be times like, why am I crying right now? This isn't that big of a deal.
right.
So I think that's the one for me is like, um, yeah, I need to watch more movies with other people to see if it continues, because that's definitely how I am watching movies by myself now. But
Hmm.
I watch so many movies by myself that I guess it's only natural for me to get more comfortable with having my natural emotional reaction to things.
Well, and that's the thing. As a writer producer, like I remember I was taught something very very early on by my mentor, and she was like, if whenever you write something, it's not for you, it's for the audience, and you've done your job when you can make them feel, whether
Yes.
it's positive, negative, small or big. If you see them just kind of go, "Ooh, job done." So there
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah. Any kind of reaction. Yelling at the screen, what the fuck are you doing?
Even like, what is wrong with this person? You just go, "Yes,
Exactly.
I wanted you to
Yes.
feel that." So there you
Yes,
go.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I love having that kind of with something that I also find rewarding is um if I've written something and I set it aside for a while and then I have to come back to it to edit, and so I don't remember what I've written, and
Hmm.
I'm rereading it, and then I also have the emotional reaction that I wanted to have, and I'm like, oh my god, I wrote this. Have you ever had that kind of experience?
A chain, yeah. Where you just like, what was I thinking? Okay, but yeah, it's happened. It's
No,
definitely
no,
happened.
but no, mine were like good experiences. Like, oh my god, I'm such a good writer for writing this because I'm having this emotional response to it. It's like, oh my
Well,
god,
I mean,
I can't believe I wrote this.
it's really interesting because I found that that's great for, let's say, characters or situations where uh, I'll give my writing to someone to read, and they'll be like, "Oh my god, this character's a dick," and I'm like, "Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah, yeah.
yes,"
I
or
I
yeah,
had someone like that with a character who was literally called Dick
oh, there you go,
in the opening of my novel Adrift, and one of my friends like reached out to me. Was like, "Is this guy meant to be a dick? Because he totally is." Like, I'm
mm,
really, really being annoyed by this character. It makes me want to punch his face or something. I'm like, great, that's that's a
right,
reaction, and I don't think I expected to have that strong of a reaction, but he's not necessarily meant to be likable
hmm,
in his attitudes with things that he's doing. So anyway, that's
interesting,
yeah. I, it's fun. It's fun to have different kinds of reactions to the things that you write.
right,
Um,
and like
yeah,
yeah, I mean, like this even can go with on the opposite spectrum. I'm sure you've read or written or seen characters that are intentionally boring and they themselves get an emotion out of you. Like I remember, like what was it like? There's this character actor. I've forgotten his name. He was in The Mask and he was in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. He's like Bueller, or in The Mask, he's Jim Carrey's psychologist, and he just speaks in this monotone
oh,
voice.
I
Yeah,
think I
and
know
you're
what
just
you're
like,
talking about.
yeah, and you're just like, oh, but you get that sense from this person. It's like this guy's like a human sloth. He's just
Mm.
like, oh, blah, blah. And you get that whoa, emotion, which is great because it makes you feel something. So it doesn't have to be positive, negative. It can just be something that you can relate to.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
It was you're kind of reminding me of Eugene Levy a little bit with that, but I know that's not who you're talking about. But
Yeah.
it
But
was
yeah,
like,
but even then, like Jim's dad, right? Eugene
mhm.
Levy. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, I mean, like every time he talks, we've always been that you can remember like at least trigger some memory where you've had that awkward conversation.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, of
for
course.
sure.
So and all these well, I mean you could say that all these are masks that you either encounter in your life or you see at different points in your life. You know?
Yeah.
So it's and the fact that you can identify them, great.
Yeah, if you can connect them with them in some way.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, one of the reasons that I have not been going back to revisit my memoir is because the last time I went through the entire thing to make sure it had everything I needed in it, I was like, I got super emotional reading it. Like, great writing for me that I'm able to elicit that emotion in myself. Despite the fact that clearly had experienced through all of this stuff. And I'm like, I hope that people are reacting in the same way that I did. It's like, I'm like, I wrote this in a way. I was like, oh, I'm like, how the fuck can you not know that he was in love with you? How did he not know? Like that's me yelling. I'm like, that was me writing about
Well,
me.
I mean, it's so different, isn't it? Like you're watching a horror movie and you go, "He's outside! Don't
Yeah,
go through that door."
yeah.
You know that's how it happens, and you just scream. I mean, but as an
But
audience member,
when
you
you're
can't look
in the
away.
moment, you're not able to step outside and see like the bigger picture, right?
Mhm.
Um, but when you're the audience watching, it's like, really,
Yeah, you
you'll
deserve to
do
get
this?
killed, right? If you're gonna open the door for Michael Myers, you're gonna get killed. So,
Yeah, yeah. Oh man, I just watched the trailer for the new Scream movie today.
oh,
Number 7, Nev
oh,
Campbell is
oh.
back in it because she wasn't in the last one. It looks good. I'm looking
Well, I don't
forward
know.
to
Like,
it.
I've only seen the first three, and I
Mm.
think, well, I mean, if you can find a way to make it work, you can. But it's just like from what I understand, from 4 onwards, it's a whole new cast.
Nope,
So, no,
nope.
Oh, okay.
I think the sixth one is the only one that Nev Campbell was not in. But it's still, I think it might have still, I can't remember actually if it still had one of the, but it was some of the cast from the previous film.
Hmm.
But yeah, like I said, Nev Campbell is back for the next one. I believe Courtney Cox is also back for the next one. At least that's what was said in the, the video that I watched today. I'm a fan of that series.
Yeah, Nev Campbell will always be a major part of my life after Wild Things. So yeah, she will
Fair,
always.
fair. Yep.
Yeah.
I was also a fan of that movie.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I picked it up on Blu-ray earlier this year just so I could rewatch it again. And then I
Good girl.
did.
Good girl.
Yeah, yeah, good film, good film.
Good. 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 Yeah.
All right, my dad has I think a few more comments for us before we end the stream.
What have you got, Frank?
Let's see. He says, well, it's
Ah.
going to be a second thing, so let me scroll down a bit before so I can pull up the next comment first. Okay. Sharad bringing up me, myself, and Irene brings up split personalities. Three Faces of Eve was based on a true story. It
Huh. I didn't
seems
know that.
it seems the person taking on these other personalities to protect is
Hmm.
also complex masking. It is known as
Interesting.
dissociative identity
Identity,
disorder,
this DID. Yeah.
DID. Yeah.
Hmm.
I think some people probably also confused it with schizophrenia, but it's not the same thing.
No, I think it's really interesting because as time goes on, we're learning more and more.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like like it's definitely a thing, and I think it's definitely stems from self-protection,
Mm-hmm.
right? Either through physical reasons or emotional, or even like you I remember reading this thing a while back about a guy who in America, well, he had one of his identities was his little girl, and his psychologist said that that was a time when his life was pure, like life was good.
Yeah.
So yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. I think a lot of movies like to play up the DID trope, but rarely get it right.
Hmm.
At least that's what I kind of have gleaned from the way people talk about it, like who have DID, and then it's like, oh man, they're just like, this is not real, or they're making light of the disorder, or using it as like, because oftentimes when it's used in movies, they're villainizing the people. Like you see Typhoid Mary, for example, in she's a Daredevil villain, I think, right?
Sure.
You you don't know the character?
Not really. I mean, have you seen recently Moon Knight on Disney Plus?
Sorry, which one?
Moon Knight on
Oh
Disney
yeah,
Plus.
yeah. He has, yeah. He's got
Yeah,
the
and
different
and I love
personalities.
as the series goes on, you see the reason why. Like he had a lot of childhood trauma, and that kind of manifested in these different personalities. And I think that's, yeah, it just goes down to show that uh, humans and the human mind is a very complex machine. We don't even really to this day we still don't really fully understand it. So yeah, whatever it does to protect you, it will find a way.
Um, yeah, Typhoid Mary is the character that I was thinking of. Looks like I know I've seen it in seen that character in a TV show,
Hmm.
but I couldn't remember which one. Um, is this here? No, I don't know. It's not coming up on this page. Um, I thought it was Daredevil, but maybe not. There's different ones that are saying different characters. She in I don't know. Anyway, never mind. Um, I'm sure there is. I'm sure I saw it and it did not just making stuff up from like, you know, Mandela effect or something. It's like I remember this thing happened and nobody else does.
Maybe, maybe.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. My dad has another comment here for us. It says, just mentioning some traditional cultural masks, Greek acting masks, African masks inspiring Cubism,
Ooh,
Balinese masks. Yeah, there's a lot of different masks from different cultures. I actually, while I was deciding what image to use for the thumbnail for this video, I was looking through a bunch of different masks, and I generally considered using like cultural masks for the images. But I thought, is it cultural appropriation? I
well,
don't know. So like,
you should
uh,
bring them out. I think that'd be great, and it's really interesting that Frank is bringing up these actual performance masks because I remember when I was studying theater, like they, yeah, like obviously, let's say with he didn't mention it here, but the Japanese kabuki theater where everything was all
oh yeah.
so over the top and everything, and then even yeah, even going back to the ancient Greeks where everything was so dramatic and everything. So I think these are fantastic, and I think uh, they remind the audience this is who this person is.
Hmm.
So even let's say a person acts or does something, this is who they are. It's like a wolf in sheep's clothing. The wolf is always there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I've actually seen improvised kabuki.
Oh
Um,
wow, really?
some of my friends in Hawaii did this show, and they've toured it to various festivals and stuff, but they will not tour outside of Hawaii anymore because of um, the perception of having white people do it. They're not exclusively white, but the perception of white people doing it outside of Hawaii is different than in Hawaii. So anyway,
People are weird,
it
man.
was
People are
an
weird.
incredible show. I'm glad I had the opportunity to see it a couple of times, both in Hawaii and in Seattle. I think that was the last time. No, was it? Yeah, I think that was the last time that they toured it outside of Hawaii was when they did the Seattle Festival in 2017, I think.
Hmm.
Yeah, I believe so.
But yeah, like just on what Frank was talking about, I think with the Africans, it's a lot more performative, a lot more high energy. They're more physical. Balinese mask just triggered a memory. When I went to Bali for a holiday with my family, yeah, I actually saw some traditional Balinese kind of performances, and the traditional masks are beautiful, and it's all meant to link back to tradition and everything, and more about religion, and they kind of link it into the performance as well. And it's really interesting because you see whenever someone adopts a mask, there's a different persona they
Hmm.
adopt that kind of thing, and some of it is just like we're meant to represent something. Other times they really embody the character, so it's interesting. And yeah, masks are awesome. I wish we had more masks in theater today.
Oh yeah, I've also seen a Balinese show that have
Mm,
the different
right.
types of masks. It's very distinct. You can tell like
Very tribal.
which character is supposed to be the evil character, which one's
Yeah,
supposed to be the hero.
which got the horns, which got the fangs coming out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, very representative of what to expect with
Hmm.
that sort of thing. All right, my dad has another comment for us here. He says some of the trauma healing techniques requires getting in touch with mini roles within. Protectors is a one type.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I totally understand that. I mean, like how I remember as a writer, like someone I can't remember where I read this or someone said this to me, but I remember like the old adage that within every person there are two wolves fighting within them. So
Hmm.
yeah, it's all about getting in touch with your inner child and figuring out what's what because we're different.
Hmm.
Mm.
All right. My dad also says archetype masks? Question mark.
Yes, Frank. Archetype mask. Okay, so yeah, it's no different to let's say if you're watching an old west film, right? There's a cowboy with a white hat and there's a cowboy with a black hat, right? Who's the good guy? Who's the bad guy?
Mm.
Black hat, bad guy. Simple. Um, yeah. So archetype masks are simply just not necessarily based on stereotypes, but they behave in a way where when people see them, they go, okay, this person is this creature is that, and there you go.
Um, I don't think that my dad meant mummets. Do you mean Muppets?
Oh yeah, probably
Unmask,
Muppets. Yeah,
unmasking acting, or
yeah.
is
I
it
mean,
is it something? Because like I tried to Google it and it just gives me Muppets.
no, I think he means Muppets. I think Muppets are a genre unto themselves because pre Muppets, again, we're going back to the ancient Greeks where they had marionettes,
Mm.
right? So yeah, they're um, they're part of the person, and they're definitely master in acting, but like in some ways they're a lot more informative and a lot more open than other people are. Because when you're a Muppet or a toy or whatever it is, you have full license to do whatever you want. You're not holding anything back.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
All right, my dad has
Muppets, yeah,
yes, Muppets.
correct.
um, yeah, I've seen a few different Muppet type things. I actually got to see, I think it's called Puppet Up, which was a improvised uh, adult Muppet show.
Okay, that sounds cool.
So they could be like rude and so on.
Yeah.
It was very cool. It was created by a relative of Jim Henson's. I
No
don't
way.
remember, like
Wow.
nephew, I think maybe. I don't
Oh, that's
remember
so dope.
exactly.
That's so cool.
Um, but yeah, so that was really awesome to have the opportunity to go see that show.
That's awesome. Have you seen or heard of um, I think Dracula the Muppet musical?
I have not.
That one, like that one's a lot of fun. So yeah,
Okay.
you
Okay.
should get on that. And it's not the Count from Sesame Street. It's
Mhm.
a different Dracula. So
Right.
yeah.
We that reminds me, we still need to do a live stream discussion on Muppet movies, like specifically all of the Muppet movies. But we'll get to there at some point. I want to rewatch them all before we do that.
Hmm.
Because I think I have most of them on DVD. Because they're good movies. All right. My dad, last comment. Hopefully we'll see sum up what has been learned. Do we want to sum up what has been learned
Yeah,
from
yeah. I
this?
think the obvious thing is education goes in the to educate yourselves. You have to share. To share, you have to listen. To listen, you have to learn. And I think that the more we talk about it, the more self-aware you become, because 9 times out of 10 something will happen and it won't get into that thick skull of ours because we're not ready, we don't see it. So just be aware. Every day is a school day, and always be willing to learn. Like another thing I learned from a mentor of mine is when if you walk in, if you automatically assume you're the smartest person in the room, you're done.
Too arrogant there.
You're done.
Yeah. I
Mm.
always have to be open to learning new things. I think for me, the best quote that I came to while conversing in this stream was unmasking is a gift to others.
Yeah.
Um, and I don't know that I would have thought about that if not for the fact that I was bringing up another person unmasking around me and seeing what a gift that was. Because it's very different when you're the one who's doing it versus when you're on the receiving end of it, being able to be around somebody's true self.
Hmm.
Because most of the time, most people aren't willing to be that vulnerable with people. And so, like, it genuinely is a gift when you are able to be that open and sharing your true whole self with others around you. Like, you can tell the difference, right?
Hmm.
My ex-husband wore so many masks, and like it was even more um visible to me when we were getting divorced, because uh now that I was no longer like engaging with him, I was more observing him
Yeah,
and eavesdropping on him.
fair
Because
enough.
you can hear through walls in my house. And so, I could see, I could hear his masking around different people. So he had like this professional voice that he used when he was being a professional talking to his colleagues. And then he had particular voice that he used with women that he was attracted to or involved with, that it was like much more like baby talk. Like, it's like, oh sweetie, like and I'm like, oh my god. And it sounded like, to my ears, having been on the receiving on it, and now I'm on the outside of it, I'm just like, oh, it feels so fake. It sounds so fake. But like, if you haven't heard him speak like that to other people, then you probably think, oh, he's just like that with me. It's like, no, that's his fake "I care about you" voice. It's
Yeah.
a mask. It's a mask. Um, and so, yeah, I don't. It makes me wonder, if, like, did I ever get to see his true vulnerable self ever? I don't know. Like, he might just be made up entirely of different masks in different settings.
Well, I mean, it's the truth of the matter is, who really does know each other that well? Because to put yourself out like that, it's exhausting and it's emotionally draining. So that, as you mentioned earlier, the fear of rejection as well, right? So um, 9 times out of 10, 99 times out of 100, we're all putting masks, whether it's to protect ourselves, to maintain appearances. So who here really knows anyone, unless it's by someone we really know, a family member, a close friend, a partner. But
Yeah.
then friends, we don't really know them. Not
A,
really.
a thought just came to me though. I think if I ever did see my ex-husband unmasked, it would be in his moments of anger where he just couldn't like hold in his feelings. Like, him lashing out at me for the things that he thought that I had done against him, and things like that. Like, that was probably the closest that I got to seeing him unmasked.
Hmm. Yeah, I think whenever it comes to someone who has anger issues or says something in anger, the best thing you can do is let it hang,
Mm.
and you just go,
Oh, so right now I'm actually currently leaving him hanging from his request that I um either delete or put behind a paywall those blog posts where I've written something negative about him and I've not given him a response. So great.
okay, dude.
So I did
All
the
right,
right
bro.
thing. I did the right thing.
Okay. Okay, bro. Okay.
Anyway, okay, so I think, unless anyone has any additional questions that they would like to ask on masking or the masks that we wear or unmasking, I guess we're oh, wait,
Woohoo!
my dad does have one more comment. I just have to wait for it to come up on Restream because I can see it on YouTube. Okay, my dad says, anger is a mask for vulnerability. That my
Yes.
dad's actually right. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, like,
It's masking the fear that is underneath of like what's your insecurity. So like my ex-husband being angry at me is more about like his insecurities that he's hiding. Is like, so I'm clearly my ex-husband is insecure about the fact that he did not treat me well, but he doesn't want to believe that he didn't treat me well, so he just gets angry at me for talking about him not treating me well.
It affects that reptilian primal part of our brain, fight or flight. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Unfortunately, he's leaning more towards one side than the other.
Hey, my dad said I missed a bold joke above. What was the bold joke?
Oh, I think probably, but I think that like a lot of people are saying that the reason for being bald is that it's a solar panel that, and it turns me into a sex machine. So I think that was probably the bald joke.
Oh no! My dad left a comment here that I missed. I didn't see it.
Oh,
Like, old bold joke. Man balding in front comes from being pushed away by women. If balding at the back, the crown, comes from being pulled
pulled
towards them.
towards them. So what happens if you're balding on every which side? I think then you're just like, like that's the thing. The only place I really have, well, actually, even this on my sides, I used to. I remember when I was 16, 17, I actually tried growing my hair like a 90 or a 70, 80s rocker. And I remember people just going, dude, why have you got a mullet? And I was like, don't talk about like, so I mean, like, this is the most, I think the most it can go. So the fact I have this just goes means like, women don't know what to do with me. They're pushing me, they're pulling me. Either way, they react to me. So there you go.
There you go. Sometimes pushed away and sometimes pulled towards.
Yep, someone's push is someone's pull. So there you
go. I'd not heard this old bold joke before. So
yeah, that's the first for me. So I think, well, Frank, how many people have pushed you and pulled you towards them? So,
My dad has definitely had the balding in the front part. That's from my memory. I've not. Yeah. So maybe my dad feels pushed away by women.
Or maybe maybe Frank back in the day was quite the ladies' man. And so like they were just like, no, leave me alone, you dirty boy. Like,
no. Well, I think he kind of was actually popular in a way that he didn't realize in his youth. But in terms of being pushed away, I think he did feel pushed away by my mum. Since she was the one who ended their relationship. Anyway. All right, so I guess we'll leave it there. We still managed to make it almost 2 hours. Amazing. Yeah. So thanks, Dad, for your comments. We would not have lasted this long without them. And we should have another episode sometime next week. So be on the lookout for it on my YouTube channel, and it'll be announced at some point. Not 100% sure which topic I'll go with yet, because I did have another topic that I thought of a few weeks ago that I did not use yet. But then we have a couple more personality tests or psychology tests that we might try. Or maybe we'll do a neurodivergence one where we'll find out if Shard is autistic like I am.
Yeah,
discuss
like
see what the yeah. Honestly, Shard, like the people that I get along with best are usually autistic and or ADHD because they get it, like they think like me. So I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, sure, bring it on.
And like the number of people who have learned that they are autistic because of things that I've shared about being autistic, and discovered like they're so much like me. My dad like realized that he was because of me sharing about my experiences and my son's experience. Yeah, so
who knows?
Maybe that's a good one for us to do next week, since we're just talking about masking, and there was some elements of autistic masking being even a separate thing as well. So maybe we'll do that one next. All right. My my dad has one more comment about the balding. So he said he had both too. First was at the back. So my
There
dad
you go.
started balding at the back. I don't
The
remember.
ladies are trying to pull you back with it,
Yeah.
Frank. So there you go.
No, that one was the pulling towards, I think. Pulling towards one.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
oh,
All right. If you are not already subscribed, do the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you can get notified when we do go live. Since it's not always at the same time, we will do at least a couple more of these episodes before I decide to take a break to move countries. We'll see how things go. I'm still in the process of things, but I've filled out forms for my realtors and
oh
getting
wow,
much closer. Yeah, they're actually going to start marketing my place off market to other realtors this week. So
cool.
yeah, it's moving forward. All right, and until next time, take off that damn